welcome to another episode of Chatty Broads with Bekah and Jess.
Hello. I quit. I quit. Dude, this episode was such bullshit.
I quit, Mr. White. I quit this fucking show because my two favorite people are gone, and now I'm over it. You know what I'm saying? It's bullshit. By the way, that was a That Thing You Do reference directed towards Ryan if you are not a That Thing You Do broad, which you should be if you are not.
Dude, okay, honestly, besides just liking Natasha and Ryan as characters, they are also two of like the only actual fucking talented people on there. Not actually talented. A bunch of them are actually talented. But they always had solid performances. They just had like a weird, we'll get into that.
Yeah, it was like, okay, so there's a one-off. And you know what? Guess what? They're both professional musicians.
We're not going to judge all the other weeks.
We're not going to judge all the other weeks. Come
Jamie
on.
and Trevor and their shit-ass performances for like 4 weeks in a row.
Are you kidding me? Listen, these are two musicians. These are two professionals who wanted to mix things up. They wanted to spice it up than just giving us the basic performance. And you know what? Sometimes when you experiment, there's a little bit of a hiccup, and they handled it like pros, and then they took
a risk. They took a risk.
Dare they? And you know what? ABC can suck it because I think that Ryan and Natasha have had the most growth numbers wise on their Instagram.
Because everyone else can suck my dick. I hate them all. I don't really hate everyone else, but like I don't care about anyone else.
I know.
But some of them I actually...
Hi, Broads. How you doing?
Hey, how was your Mother Day? We came in hot.
We're coming a little hot. You know, mic stands were broken. We were having struggles getting everything set up. So we're a little bit hot. It's a little bit warmer. You know, quarantine's gone a little longer than expected. And, you know, Bekah is practically about to have the baby. So I can imagine that, you know.
Dude, also,
that would add to things.
85 degrees when you're pregnant is no joke. I don't know how my mother did it in like 110-degree Fresno weather.
Oh, how?
You know, because I always get this feeling like I already get this feeling like I'm trapped inside someone else's body or something when I'm pregnant. I'm like, I want to like rip off my own skin. And then when it's hot out, I mean, it's just miserable.
Oh, yeah. It's brutal. Truly brutal. Well,
but I'm still liking quarantine personally. I'm planning hanging out with my family.
That's lovely. I've crossed.
Did you have a nice Mother's Day?
I did have a lovely Mother's Day. I was showered with love. The request was, I would like to be alone. That was my number one request.
Yeah, you want to kind of forget you're a mother for a few hours.
Yeah, it was especially like during this lockdown situation where they're on top of you all the time. I just wanted to have a moment of peace. So I had many
a nanny
hours.
Mom. I had a nanny mom who said that. She was like, she had 2 kids, and she was like, actually, I don't want to see my children on Mother's Day.
Yeah.
On Mother's Day, I want it to be about me.
Exactly. And here's my thing. It was a perfect Mother's Day because Evan was just with Ember most of the day. And then towards the end of the day, they came together, like made me dinner together. It was so sweet. And then I had my loves at the end of the night when I was like fully recuperated and rested and my brain was right.
That's great.
How about you? How was your Mother's Day?
It was really nice. Just had a nice breakfast. Uneventful. Yeah, no, Mother's Day was nice. Oh, by the way, Grayson tried to one-up you. He bought me 2 acres on the moon. He got a 2-for-1.
Wait, fuck you, Gray. How dare you
watch out, Elon Musk. I'm taking over the whole galaxy. I got property left and right. Left and right.
Honestly, the globe is like on fire right now. Like Earth is turned to shit, but Bekah has stars and 2 acres on the moon. So like you guys are ghosting.
Gray found a 2-for-1 deal on Groupon, and he's like, Jess bought her a star. I'm going to get her space on the moon.
I mean, honestly, that's really badass.
You have
property outside of the Earth. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know. I have a vacation home on the moon.
And
potentially.
When they start taking people to the moon to like live eventually, you can
That's what
sue
I'm saying.
when people try to build on your acreage.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. When the Tesla Shuttle X with X-Ash A12 is piloting it 30 years in the future.
Elon Musk's baby.
Did you know he already had 5 kids?
Honestly, I had no idea, and I was shocked to find this out. I just imagine Elon Musk sees each child as a new experiment. Like, I would imagine he experiments like...
Yeah, like he's probably over the old ones, right?
I would think like he would treat every child differently. Like, all right, this one I'm going to nurture and see what's stronger. Nature versus nurture. My second, I will just allow nature and see what's stronger. And like every kid, I believe, has to be an experiment.
Well, he has a set of triplets and twins and then now a single one.
And like, do you know how rare that is to have a set of triplets and twins?
They might have been IVF.
True,
He's like,
but I
implant
think
8. He's like, put in 8 of them and we'll see how many I get out of this time.
I just feel like there's,
Oh
you know,
my God.
he's got his hands in everything. Anyways, wow, here we are talking about Elon. From listen to your heart to Elon Musk to Mother's Day. Honestly, Chatty Broads, we're chatty today. We cover everything on this podcast. And if you enjoy this podcast,
Oh, yeah.
just a little reminder, like and subscribe and smash the 5 stars. That's
If you hate Elon Musk and Grimes' child's name, which, by the way, is X, the AE symbol, A12. And they say it's pronounced X-A12. So if you hate that, rate us 5 stars.
5
Go
stars.
on the iTunes app.
5
Look
stars.
up Chatty Broads. Ding. Hit that 5 stars button. Maybe even leave us a little note. We'd love it.
Honestly, leave us a note. Let us know in your note what you would have chosen to name Elon Musk and Grimes' child. Please.
I
Because
like
now I
that.
want to know. I'm very curious.
I know all his other kids' names are pretty normal, by the way. They're like Griffin and Xavier and stuff.
That would make me feel like less important, but also like dope that I didn't get that weird ass name, but also like,
Can
why
you
didn't
imagine
care
as the
enough?
can you imagine being the ex-wife and just like the how far back your eyes would be rolling in your head?
Oh, can you imagine? Can you just imagine being Elon Musk's ex-wife in general? What a trip.
I know, who the hell is she? Okay.
Or current wife.
Well,
Anyways, back to the topic at hand. Broads, so yeah, fuck this episode. How dare they rip Natasha and Ryan out of our hands? Bekah, before we get into the episode, can we talk about last week's episode and a little clippy clip that we saw that was
okay, this is interesting.
This
is interesting.
Yeah, okay.
First of all, I find it interesting that they released it in general, how The Bachelor does. Because this was kind of some hot tea.
This was some hot tea.
And it was actually from a few episodes back.
Yes.
It was from like episode 2. Okay, so the clip, which we'll link in our stories or something, I don't even know, in our bio. The clip, it's after Natasha's told Jamie about Trevor and like the emotional cheating.
Yes.
And then like all the girls, you tell.
I mean, basically just so Natasha talks about the Trevor tea, and then it appears that Jamie has spoken with Trevor. And if you all remember, Jamie and Trevor have this moment where it's like, wait, are you guys like, you're good now? Like, you found out
Trevor's
about his...
there was emotional cheating, and Jamie was like, yeah, I'm so glad I can open up to you and be
You're like,
honest. That was
oh,
basically the conversation.
All right, like, cool. So basically, it seems to be right after that. And Rudy takes it upon herself that she's like, I don't like that Natasha's coming in here. I feel like it's sus. She's messing up Trevor and Jamie's relationship, blah, blah, blah. So she's going to pull Natasha aside to talk to her. Well, before she can even start talking to her, Jamie like beelines in, and then Julia follows. And they're literally in like they're actually in a pile. They're actually in a pile of women. And they're just kind of like... all the girls, and they're just like picking apart Natasha, and they're like questioning.
It's just stupid too. It's really, really dumb. If you watch it, they're just like, so I don't like your vibe. And like, that's fine. We don't have to like each other. That's cool. We're adults. That's my Jamie impression. She's like,
you're good
well,
at it.
I just didn't like you from like the moment I saw you.
Like when you walked in and I could smell you. Like I can literally like I can get an aura off of people, but I can also get a scent. And like your scent is like very sus to me. And like, I just don't like it. Okay. Like,
and basically all the girls are like, And then Natasha's like, okay, so why are you talking to me, basically? And then all the girls are like, honey, like that attitude, that's why we don't like you. Basically, this is the whole conversation. And then the sad part is we're hardly exaggerating in this impression. Like,
no,
they're really,
it feels like, I'm watching an actual clip from like a Mean Girls-esque type teeny bot movie where like the cool girls who've been at the school and the new girl comes in and everyone's like threatened and weird. And like Julia was serving some serious shady looks and like eye rolls and comments. So through this whole thing, by the way, Natasha is handling herself like a badass bitch. She's just like, well, that's not my intention. I'm sorry you feel that way. And like, she's just not reacting. They're getting hot.
Dude, because if you watch this clip, please look it up and watch it. It's so immature the way they're handling it.
Yeah.
It's so immature. They all look petty as fuck. And they look just pissed that there's somebody new in the house. And of course, they continue to be that way, just picking her apart because obviously she's more talented than most of them when it comes to performing at the very least.
And she's
besides, I think Rudy's kind of on par with her. But
yeah,
I don't think anyone else has her kind of like performance.
No, Rudy slays. But like Natasha came in and she's like shockingly stunning and like has this crazy voice and holds herself in a very like confident way.
Yeah.
Right. And she handles this whole situation so maturely. They're being so immature. But point is, and Bekah and I were talking about this, and I was like, girlfriend, you better believe if I come in and I feel like I'm being calm and like doing someone a favor basically by being like, by the way, I know this guy and he was cheating and I just want to like look out for you. And when the dust settles, Natasha doesn't egg the situation on with Trevor and Jamie anymore.
No.
She lets it be, okay? And from there, I would be like, oh, these girls are going to treat me like that? You better believe with the whole Julia situation, I'm not going to have her back because they've been rude to me this whole time.
No. Also, like, it was totally that thing which I just can't stand when, some girl comes and is like, your boyfriend's cheating. And she's like, honestly, I just think it's none of your business to even be involved in our relationship. And it's like, really, you're getting pissed at her?
Yes.
For just spilling the tea that your man's maybe isn't the guy that you think he is? I mean, come on.
Yes. So,
and he even admitted that there was like emotional cheating, and what, Jamie's still going to get pissed at her for like coming in and saying
somehow
something?
It's still this new girl's fault that they don't know it all. It was so
Granted,
so bad.
she did come in like, hello, everyone.
Yes.
I'm about to rock your world.
Yes.
So granted, like I'll give them that it was she came in pretty hot.
Oh no, let me tell you.
And I would kind of be like, are you really interested in helping me, or are you just interested in making a splash?
I would be threatened by Natasha because she would intimidate me for sure. But she right away sat down with the girls. She was like, here's the thing. And she was very like, she has like, even though she's super confident, she had that kind of nurturing energy when she was sitting with the girls initially. She wasn't like trying to break up relationships. Like she wasn't coming in and like, being like, I'm actually going to go for Matt, Rudy, and like break up some relationship. She went for the single guy. Like she talked to the single guys. Yeah. And I don't know. The whole point is do I still think when Natasha dropped the bomb on Julia before the performance, she was aware of it? Yes. But now it makes sense. It's just, she doesn't give a fuck. Why would she? Yeah. Why would I want to, if that was the reaction the first time that I brought up a little bit of like potentially emotionally cheating and I got attacked by the girls, Lord knows I'm going to be like, you know what? No, I'm not going to pull you aside and be all like making sure, like, no. So yeah. I don't think Natasha was getting a lot of heat for it at all. But if anyone was giving her heat for it, if you see this clip, you're like, oh. And it also put a bad taste in my mouth for the other girls, to be honest. Oh, absolutely. Minus Bree. They all looked... Bree's never in that shit. Yeah, no, of course not. She's a little angel cake. That's the only issue I have with Bree and Chris is they're so incredibly boring to me. It's absurd. They are boring, but they're just sweet. I don't care. People. I don't want to watch them on my TV. Kick them off so that they can go live their relationship outside of the show. Because I don't give a shit about seeing another second of them. I'm coming in hot tonight, folks, and like that's the tea. But this is no hold bars. This is we're coming. But no, I agree with you. I don't care about watching them on my TV right now, if I'm being totally honest. But I can't say anything.
They don't deserve a music career together. Sorry.
I have nothing bad to say about them. I think that they seem like the nicest people in the whole world. But like this is
not anything bad to say about
TV.
them. But this is also a music show, and their performances. Actually, this one was a little bit like spicier. They kind of made it fun, but are usually a snooze fest, and I do not want to go see them on tour. Natasha and Ryan, on the other hand, yes.
Well, can you imagine seeing Chris and Brie on tour? Every single performance they've ever done, they hold each other's hand and stare at only each other the whole time.
Look at each other.
Can you imagine an hour and a half of that? Just every single song. Like, they've been able to get away with it because the judges are different every time.
Exactly.
But if they had the same judges, it wouldn't be the case. Like, Ryan and Natasha would be getting worshipped because they mix it up every week, or like a Matt and Rudy, because,
and Natasha and Ryan, like we said, took risks.
They take risks, and I quit the show, even though we will recap the final episode. but I emotionally quit the show because...
Is there only one more episode?
There's only the finale
Well,
left.
thank God for that. After this.
Because God knows this dumpster fire is going to just burn without them on the show. Okay? That's just the way it is. It's just the way it is. Well, we are coming in hot. So I feel like this is going to be a good episode. This is going to be a good recap because we have some
passionate.
We have some hot takes. We're passionate today. Before though we do get into the actual recapping piece, should we chat for a sec?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, I think that it goes without saying that life is weird right now. I mean, look at how hot Bekah and I are. There's passion. Life's a little funky right now. Things are uncertain and uncharted, and we're all just doing the best we can to take care of ourselves. And for a lot of people, that might mean physically, which is great, of course. But what about mentally? When days start to look the same, it can provoke anxiety or fill your mind with worst case scenarios. And trust me, I get it. Well, Talkspace. Talkspace is the easiest way to make sure you get the support you need and are putting your mental health first, because although you may feel lonely right now, you are not alone, broads.
Absolutely. And with Talkspace, you'll always have an outlet no matter what you're feeling. And for Mental Health Awareness Month, Talkspace Online Therapy is more committed than ever to expanding access to support for anyone who's struggling. The secure online platform matches you with a licensed therapist across 40 specialties based on what your specific needs are. So once you're matched, you can begin therapy the very same day by sending your therapist texts, audio, picture, or video messages 24/7, as much or as little as you need. And by the way, once you're matched, you can begin therapy the very same day, like I said.
I'm a huge advocate for therapy, and if ever there was a perfect time to start, it is now. Sometimes just talking through something can drastically reduce my anxiety, and I'm so thankful that being at home hasn't affected my access to that support. And in honor of Mental Health Month, Talkspace Online Therapy is committed to fostering a global community around the importance of mental health. While we may not be able to shake hands or high five or hug or gather in solidarity right now, we can reach out for support. With Talkspace, talk it out with a licensed therapist from the comfort of your home whenever something is on your mind.
The bottom line, you deserve support and you don't have to struggle on your own. Your Talkspace therapist can be your dedicated support system, there to help you feel healthier and more empowered, even in these uncertain circumstances. And as a listener of Chatty Broads, you can get $100 off your first month on Talkspace. So to match with your perfect therapist, you can go to Talkspace.com or download the app. Make sure to use code Chatty and you'll get $100 off your first month and show your support for the show. That's code Chatty for $100 off your first month at Talkspace.com.
You got to take care of yourself, broads. And speaking of taking care of yourself, I am so excited to tell you about a product that I've loved for a long time, but now get to experience in a whole new way, and that is Care Of. If you've been with Bekah and I for a while now, you know we are huge fans of Care Of over at Chatty Broads for all of our personalized vitamin needs. But now, after listening to many, many requests from their customers, they really have everything covered. We are talking hair, skin, nails, the beauty and wellness trifecta.
Woohoo!
Yep.
Hallelujah! And there are hundreds of beauty supplements on the market, so finding one that works from a company you trust is like hitting the jackpot. No searching required. Care of takes all the guesswork out of everything. You just take their online quiz and you'll receive your scientifically backed recommendations based on your goals, lifestyle, and diet. And they really go deep to see if you may have underlying causes that could be affecting things like hormones or digestion issues.
I'll admit the whole concept of vitamins and supplements really overwhelmed me before I started using Care of. There's so much information out there and I didn't really know where to start. And if you're thinking, yeah, been there, done that, got confused, go online right now and take the Care of online quiz. Seriously, it is so simple. The questions are easy and purposeful. And at the end, you'll have your personalized recommendations explained in detail. And I mean every single ingredient explained, where it comes from, what it's used for, and exactly how it's going to improve your hair, skin, or nails. I'm working on my nails at this moment because your girl has jacked up nails after these acrylics were forced off during this, okay? And the nails are not pretty underneath. They are weak AF. But with Care of, they're actually getting stronger and they're not bending anymore when I push on them. And I'm thinking maybe I'm just going to grow these out and be au natural for the rest of eternity, you know?
Wow.
I don't know. We'll see. Care of. Bless.
What are you waiting for? You can get 50% off your first Care of order, half off, by going to takecareof.com and entering code chatty50. That's takecareof.com and enter code chatty50 for 50% off your first order.
All right. Well, we start this bogus episode off at the
Morning with the couples.
Yeah, there's 4 remaining, and Chris Harrison basically rolls in and calls out Chris and Bree.
That's exactly what I wrote. I said Chris immediately calls out Bree saying I love you, and Chris, I don't know if you noticed, he's meanwhile just sipping.
He's just like
out of his mug.
He's like, yeah, she really did put me on the spot in that situation. And I was dying. Chris was just like, what was that emotion that went through your body in the moment that you said, I love you on the stage? And I'm just like, a record deal. That's what that emotion was. Plain and simple.
That's what was. Okay, for real, can we talk for a second? Like,
please.
Who do you think's going to win now? Because if it's Bree or Chris or Jamie or Trevor, I'm going to be pissed. But it doesn't look like it's going to be Rudy or Matt because they seem like they're headed for a big dumpster fire.
So, yeah, I agree. I think it's either going to be Bree and Chris or Jamie and Trevor.
Maybe it will be Matt and Rudy. Maybe they'll come around.
Maybe they're making it look a certain way. Now, I put my, hands down to me, Matt and Rudy should win because even with the tumultuous relationship, it feels the most real,
authentic.
And I believe that shit. I believe Matt being like, I really like her, but I'm not ready to tell her that I'm falling in love with her, and
their musical chemistry is good. I hate when people are using that phrase, but they do have musical chemistry together, and they always kill it on stage.
They do. They crush, and honestly, they're getting better every single time.
I know.
It's like their music love bond is getting stronger and they're crushing it every time.
So if they don't win,
if they don't win, I guess they're just
going to be Bree and Chris or something.
Probably Bree and Chris because of, well, I don't know, but Jamie and Trevor were pretty day one too.
Yeah, but they suck.
I know.
They weren't as bad this episode, but I don't think they perform well together.
No, I don't think so. And what I would imagine is in the finale when they're in Nashville and they're probably going to be in the biggest venue with the biggest judges.
She's going to freak out.
She's going to lose her shit. This was her week where she was like, I'm a goddess. I am in control. I am confident. And she did a really great job, hyping herself up. And then she went out and she did the best she's ever done. But I think next week probably is not going to be that way. That's my guess.
We'll see.
Well, lucky for them, yes, they are going to be traveling next week from Las Vegas to Nashville, and we will see if they're going to be traveling in their private tour buses.
Well, yeah. So back to the episode, Chris is like, you guys are leaving LA for good. I don't know if you caught that.
Yeah, it was just
He's like, for good. I'm like, I think half of them live here already.
I'm
Chris.
Pretty sure they live here. Also, I'm pretty sure there's only 2 episodes left and you guys are going to 2 other places.
We'll be globe-trotting. for the next 8 days.
We are going to get these gorgeous tour buses for you, and you are going to spend so much time together on the road while we take a 4-hour drive from Los Angeles all the way to Las Vegas.
I thought they were going to like go in a caravan and stay in the tour buses because those were posh AF, which is, well, actually they probably will have them in a tour bus like that when they put them on the winning tour.
There's no,
but like in the real world,
there's no way that ABC is springing for a tour bus like that if they have a tour. Those tour buses like that minimum cost like
so
$2,500 a day, and that's not including like someone who's driving it. And it's like, by the way, gas on those things is like $8 a mile. I mean, you spend so much cash. ABC, they're not springing for that. They're gonna be in.
Well, they don't have to spring for shit now because everything's canceled.
I doubt they'll
but
ever
those
do a
were
tour.
So nice. Like that was sweet.
They are so nice, and I know we've talked about this, Bekah, but I was truly like in my heart so devastated that Bret Michaels didn't pop out. It killed me. Like it really did.
It did inspire me that I was like, oh my gosh, like for whatever birthday in the future, taking like a sweet ass RV and getting a driver to just do the 4 hours from LA to Vegas. Oh my God, what a party.
Oh yeah, it would be so fun. Even though I would have been so devastated if I was them. And I'm like, I only get 4 hours with my person in this like bomb ass. I mean, there's a bed in there. It was looking pretty sexy.
Yeah,
sexy.
and a whole camera crew.
Their whole camera crew with a bed. It was
within
just
this like 17 square foot space.
Which is how a tour bus is normally anyways. There's like 17 people in one of those buses. Not romantic. But
okay, yeah, they really tried their best to make it romantic. Wait, Rudy said, okay, there was just this one clip where it was Rudy or Matt, and she said, I hope it's not, and they bleeped her out. She was like saying a sentence, and I was like, wait, were you saying shit or were you saying fucking? I was so confused.
I don't think I
I don't think I heard that. Talk about it. She was saying, never mind, actually, I don't even remember the first sentence, but I was really confused about what she was trying to say. Usually when they bleep someone out, it's like pretty obvious what they're trying to say, and I didn't know what she was trying to say. But I have to say, okay, so Matt, it's the first sign we see of him being weird when they're on their bus.
Uh-huh.
Oh my God, that was, their whole relationship stuff was really blown out of proportion. I think you might be right that they might be gearing up maybe to have them win, and they're just trying to manufacture some drama because it seemed just really blown out of proportion.
It just felt like the whole thing is just so odd to me because I just keep stepping back and being like, these people auditioned for a music show not knowing that it was romance. And so to all of a sudden have the pressure of like, oh, by the way, you're also on a Bachelor spinoff, so like you better be ready to say I'm falling in love with you. And what I wonder is, I don't know if you remember, but Matt had the whole joke at the beginning of the first episode where he was like, I recognize that guy. What's his name? Chris, whatever.
Oh, yeah.
Part of me does wonder, has Matt ever seen The Bachelor? And he doesn't know the rules of The Bachelor where you have to say that I'm falling in love.
Right, because he seemed genuinely shocked when they were on their little date thing. And he's like, I'm not about to say I'm falling in love with her.
Yeah. It's like, oh, has Matt...
He's like, that shit's too soon.
Has Matt never seen the show? So he's just like, why is everyone saying this so fast? Like, why am I getting pressured to tell Rudy I love her after 2 weeks?
That's so true. I think that's exactly what's going on because he's the one of the most realist people on the show. Now they're my new favorite couple. We've got no other choice.
I know. No other choice but to stand.
Well, meanwhile, though, some people are really taking advantage of their romance. Trevor says, I don't think anything good comes from being emotionally safe. And I'm like...
I was like, what about boundaries?
I was like, I can think of some good things that can come from that. But this show is perfect for you, my man.
You are
going.
Exactly where you need to be, guy.
But then the funny thing is he follows it up with like, so here I go. I'm going to sing to her.
And he literally was like, are you ready to get serenaded or what? I'm like, oh God. And literally the producers were just They were glowing. They're like, this is what we've been waiting for. They're like, cut, montage, people having intimate conversations, montage, people taking Polaroids, montage, making out, like looking out the window wistfully. Like it was everything that they wanted. They're like, this is exactly. All the other couples are just like kind of enjoying their time together. But Trevor and Jamie were really selling it.
Really taking advantage of the situation.
Really taking advantage. Did you notice also, it made me laugh so hard when we first saw it with Bree and Chris where they were taking the Polaroid selfies. And I'm like, know, ABC production crew was like, what would like cool musicians like in their ride or on their tour bus? Like whiskey, maybe a record player, a Polaroid camera. That's cool. That's very cool. A full urban outfitters retail store. Somehow we'll fit it in the bus. Oh wait, a barista.
Some cactuses,
succulents,
some hanging succulents. For real. Very edgy. Maybe one of those leather floor poofs, kind of Moroccan style.
One of those poofs that's very expensive. It's very expensive.
Why are those
somehow.
Things so expensive?
Girl, I do not know. I have looked
I was looking at them the other day. I'm like, $120?
I'm like, the used ones are like that expensive.
I know.
Lord. The poof business is popping off.
The poof business is where it's at, my guy. We got to get in on that. Well, I mean, it cuts to Matt being weird again on the bus. Yeah, and then they're all at their new pad, and Matt and Rudy are gone. So how the fuck did they get their own private location? What the fuck? What's with the fantasy suite?
See, I was gonna ask you about this. So, like, do you think, with your Bachelor production expertise, do you think this was the producers trying to stir some stuff with them because they knew that like they were kind of one of the only, I mean, I guess Jamie and Trevor have potential drama, but like they're the other potential drama relationship. So are they making them peel off to have that
Jess,
moment?
I have no idea.
Or do you think
why
that they asked for it and they just ask and you shall receive?
Okay. Definitely not that. It was definitely not that. It's definitely not the kind of thing we'd be like, hey, producers, we'd love to spend a night together. Yeah, sure. I know a great Airbnb right off the freeway.
Hey, producers, any way you can get a creepy saloon that's haunted that we could get like a little motel situation?
Yeah, what the heck was that?
It literally looked like they pulled off the side of the road, Bekah, and like found some random place.
I think that they were either trying to hoping there would be drama between Matt and Rudy, and like hoping that Rudy would like spill the "I am in love with you" thing that night or something, and that there would be drama. Or maybe they were trying to stir up jealousy with the other people, but then I don't know.
But they were all just
but whatever happened, it didn't really work. It was very uneventful, and I guess they just got to hang out and have sex at their own private location.
I mean, it did look that way. And when we were seeing them, by the way, go into that hotel room, I was just like, talk about ABC not springing. This is maybe the most low budget room we've seen, perhaps even more low budget than the 15 by 15 foot like 400 square foot windmill situation. Like that was like the windmill was maybe the most low budget room.
No, the tent. They put Ari and Bekah in a tent.
That's true.
In a straight up tent.
They put him in a tent.
I'll never let that go.
This was kind of on par. That room.
I would take the tent.
I would take the tent too. The room was not like, I don't mind a small room. It was, you could see a peek in it. And I was like, this feels like you're scraping the bottom of the barrel for us right now.
Well, I will say that maybe they I definitely don't think it was like an asking ye shall receive. But I definitely think it could have been a last minute producer thing where literally that day they're like, you know what? Let's give them like an overnight date and see what happens.
Yeah, because I'm like, if Jamie and Trevor get like the T-Mobile Center for their date, can you at least spend like more than $45 on our bedroom that we may be making love in?
Oh,
it may be the pivotal turning point.
I just couldn't handle the smooching sounds behind the closed door. It was disgusting.
Yeah, I can't ever handle
the
the
worst.
Yeah,
it's the worst.
It's the worst.
Okay, Now, next date, Bree and Chris get the chapel. What is this chapel lady from? I've seen her on another show.
I felt the same way, Bekah, and I'm wondering if because
is it from Is it from an episode of The Bachelor?
I think that it's just from other reality TV shows because I think she runs the chapel. So whenever like there's an MTV, maybe it's Rock of Love. I feel like they went to the little white chapel in Rock of Love, and maybe she was there.
Jessica, it is.
Is that what it's from? Because Bret Michaels is
Grayson,
in that tuxedo.
Grayson and I recently rewatched Rock of Love, I think. There's some reality show that I watched recently, but she's... What? Get out. Grayson said, what's going on? Do you need me?
That was a quick response. That was fast service. You barely spoke his name, and Grayson was like, yes, my dear? How may I attend to you?
There was some reality show I watched with this lady, but there was a guy on it too.
And Flavor of Love, maybe? Flavor of Love, Rock of Love.
Well, it was like her and her sidekick at the chapel, and they were talking about how seriously they take their job there. If anyone can let us know some of the reality shows that this woman has appeared on in her chapel as running the chapel, maybe it is Rock of Love. I don't know. But anyway, I definitely have seen her on my screen before.
Yes, and I agree because she had a very familiar sense. And this woman, this little precious lady knew exactly what she was doing. She was she was running that shit. And I was like, I think I chose the wrong officiant in my wedding because...
Oh, she takes it very seriously.
So seriously.
Oh, this is the rock and roll wedding chapel. So maybe it is from Rock of Love.
I mean, that's probably what it is. We're just being haunted by the fact that Bret Michaels wasn't allowed to be the mentor for the damn tour buses. And honestly, if Bret Michaels would have been allowed to be the mentor for the damn tour buses, we would have had, some really, really inappropriate scenes where Bret Michaels decides to have a competition where he's like, all right, two of the chicks, let's see who can tie a cherry knot, a cherry stem into a knot faster. The prize, the chicks make out.
Love it.
Despicable. Anyways, but this little old woman, when she, by the way, was having them say that couple saying their vows, she was going in hard. It is like, I cannot live a day without you for now and forever. Say, darling, I love you.
Jess, this is going to drive me nuts. It's not Rock of Love, but I saw her on some reality show and they were featuring her, and she takes her job this seriously every single time. When someone comes in, she is waxing poetic for them to repeat.
She's fantastic.
She takes it super seriously.
Honestly, she is coming for Chris Harrison's job, and I say give it to her. I say give it to her. This woman knows love better. She truly does. You can tell. She breathes
They're
it.
singing. Okay, Bree and Chris's singing was actually cute, though, for that.
It was very cute. But can you imagine how awkward that must have been?
Well, this is what I'm saying. Whatever show I saw this woman on in the Vegas chapel, it was the same way. It was this very kind of awkward situation. I'm like, who are these people who agreed to have their wedding filmed like this at the chapel?
I mean, yes, I do understand because I would for sure have done that, especially if she would have been my officiant.
I feel since they're older, it's we're going to have a couple come sing and we're going to film it for our little show called Listen to Your Heart. And they're just oh, okay.
Definitely. For my second,
that sounds nice.
For my second wedding, I'm for sure down. Absolutely. Well, I did think that their moment was sweet, but I was also like, hey guys, you gave poor Bree and Chris a fucking Guitar Center date, and then their second date, you make them perform in as these two people already exchanged vows, said I do, and then they're just staring at each other, and you guys have to perform, and yet Jamie and Trevor get to go and ice skate together, and Rudy and Matt get to go see Shaggy perform, and Ryan and Natasha get to destroy things. But Chris and Bree get put to work again. It's come on.
They're the wedding singers now. Yeah.
Seriously.
Oh my gosh.
Well, they have...
Okay, and then they have their little talk.
They have that moment, and we saw that little clip for the preview of next week where it seems like Chris and Bree are having... the waters have gotten a little, more choppy maybe next week. But he does say something, and it's so sad because he says that he always wanted his dad to marry him. because his dad was a minister and his best friend from college and dad died at the same day, which is crazy.
Horrible.
Like the worst ever. And I wonder, I'm curious to see if this show is just going to be like too much. If the pressure is just too much.
I think that she's putting a lot of pressure on him.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
I don't think that's her intention, but if you've noticed, she has been the one initiating everything in the relationship. And I think that while he may have feelings for her, he's kind of being like, kind of ushered along on this ride. And I think that she is very sweet, and I don't think she has any like ill intentions, but she also at times does seem very like aware of the show, like we were talking about last time with her dropping the I love you on stage. And I feel like she probably watches The Bachelor, because it seems like the way that she's doing this timeline of like how she's expressing her feelings towards him and like their conversations and stuff. It just seems like she maybe is like a little more aware of the show vibe than maybe he is, and maybe he's kind of
you know what,
it's kind of freaking him out.
It is very interesting that you say that, because it did feel this week. I noticed this week that he seemed quiet. Like, he's always very quiet in general, but like even when they hopped on the tour bus and it's like, how dope is this? And his reaction, he was very low key. And again, he's always very low key. But there seemed to be something that was a little off to me this week. Yeah. We'll see.
Yep.
We'll definitely see next week.
Yep.
But anywho, back at the penthouse.
Yeah, so meanwhile,
Matt's
voice,
Yeah, Matt and Rudy are back, and Trevor's
Matt's voicing his doubts.
Yeah, he's voicing his doubt. Trevor's like, did you guys get to sleep in the same bed when you went on your little vacation? Trevor's like, dude, I think Jamie's really hot, and I'm starting to go a little crazy. I feel like we need to have a little getaway. Because
don't we see that in the preview too, where he's like, and the fantasy suite's on the line, which is, by the way, hilarious that they're now all competing for a fantasy suite, considering Rudy and Matt just got to spend an overnight together.
Yeah, seems a little unfair, a little unjust.
Like, what? And then I also thought it was funny and cool. I was jealous of them that the girls just got to basically sit in the lobby, just like at the bar, just chilling.
Yes.
And chatting. I was really jealous.
Well, you wonder, because the show is brand new and it hadn't probably maybe even it hadn't even been announced. Well, no, I guess they were doing the live performances.
Yeah, and I actually went on Ashley Simpson's Instagram, and she like posted about it the day. It seemed like the day they filmed.
Oh,
I know. Actually, no, she didn't. It was when the show started. But anyway, yeah, I think that it's just obviously the show is like they're kind of just like going. I don't know. They're making it up as they go along.
Yeah, it's definitely a different flavor in that way. Well, we have Matt, who is voicing his concerns to Ryan, just concerns, and then on the other side we have Rudy and Jamie. Who were having this conversation that was very funny, where Jamie and her, it's like very much, she's just like, you just have to tell him you love him. I can tell in his eyes he loves you. You just have to do it. And I was like, Rudy, I don't know if I'd necessarily take Jamie's advice.
Meanwhile, it's cutting to Matt, and he's just like, I don't know. Classic. Jamie's like, it's written all over his face how in love with you.
He cannot help but screaming with his eyes how deeply he has fallen for you already. Weeks ago.
Oh my gosh.
Well, Trevor and Jamie end up getting the date card, and Jamie is about to throw up again. This is what I've noticed. My new drinking game, well, I guess the show's over, but if I ever have to go back and rewatch it for some crazy reason, God forbid, the drinking game will be anytime Jamie talks about needing to throw up, I'm going to drink, and I will be throwing up by the end of each episode due to alcohol poisoning.
I can't with her. I cannot with her.
It's
especially after, I have to say, some of my 80% of my hatred now stems from the clip. that you should go watch
I
of her with Natasha.
I
I can't ever look at her the same.
I wholeheartedly agree with you. Jamie,
like, I just couldn't stand her this episode after seeing that clip.
Jamie, this episode to me, like, I always, every week, I'm like, yeah, you kind of bug a little bit, but you're sweet. And like, you're just kind of giddy and have a lot of like nervous energy. But after seeing that clip, it was like, you know what? I'm not a huge fan. And
she's super childish.
That's
she's
the
really
biggest thing.
childish.
And I hate making anything about age.
It's not an age thing. She's childish. Like, the way that she acts and the way that she addresses other people and stuff is childish.
Yeah. It's just, it feels extremely immature, like just the reactions in general. And so, yeah, this date felt like I was feeling all sorts of uncomfy during this date.
Okay. Yeah. First of all, I was confused because I was like, why are they playing like out of all the dates in Vegas, like they're going to go play ice hockey? Okay. Random. I mean, not terrible. I was just like, I don't
know,
get
but like
it.
it doesn't. You have the strip. There
Out
are
of
so
all the
many things.
I know.
And you go to a hockey rink, and by the way, it has nothing to do with music either. So there were two random. There was
like the rock and roll chapel. It's like, okay, Elvis. I think was,
and they played music, and then Rudy and Matt's. But like Natasha and Ryan's, the demolition thing has nothing to do with music. And then this ice skating date, and all the other dates have had to do with music. It doesn't make any sense. It's just out of nowhere.
And then I was dying where they just put the couch in the middle of the ice rink
They're just like,
for them to sit on.
I just picture a Zamboni pushing it out.
What was that?
Just like, it was so random. It was just, yeah, I know it. The whole thing, he comes up, or he right away is saying that like he grew up playing hockey his whole life, so like this is gonna be his moment to impress her. I do have to say she was shockingly good. I gotta give her.
I thought that for me the date would have been a nightmare.
Oh,
I don't like athletic dates when I don't know what I'm doing and the other person does. Very embarrassing.
Agreed. All of my front teeth would have been gone. I would have fell forward.
My ass was hurting just watching because I just, and you just,
she
land on your tailbone over and over again. She was doing just fine.
She had a little crop on, and she was like coasting and like scoring. Like, I mean, she was like taking shots and like getting them, and she was. Yeah, I mean, it was impressive. It was
we don't
impressive.
know any of the hockey jargon, obviously.
Yeah, I mean,
she was making goals.
She was
touchdown all over the place. I don't know a thing about hockey, and I also don't know a thing about ice skating. But you know what? It's because we were born and raised in California.
Facts on
my
facts.
girl.
Facts on facts.
Like, ice rink, I've been twice at winter camp.
I have to be honest with you. I used to go see the Mighty Ducks every single week with my dad.
Did you?
But I was there for the little tiny individual sized pizzas, and I was there for the halftime show.
I've heard hockey's really fun.
It's very fun. And I was also there for the men's because Lord knows they're my type.
Potties.
They're my type. They're a little rugged. They're a little big.
I could definitely go for a hockey player.
Yeah. They're a little...
Wouldn't be mad about it.
They can be a little goofy, so I know that I'd be the boss.
A little bit super aggressive also.
I don't know about that. That's a little scary.
They literally like knock each other's teeth out from fighting.
They have many missing teeth. They're always covered in stitches, but
they're always slamming each other into the glass and stuff. Why is hockey like that? Why is it so like physical when it comes to fighting?
I don't know why they allow it, but man, they'd slam up against they'd check each other like up against the boards, and I would just be like,
have your
my
pizza.
Breast,
you're like,
I'd have my breast just pushed against the glass and be like, notice me, and my
pizza in hand.
My dad would be like, you're 13 years old, and I'd be like, I can't help
it.
I can't help my attraction. Pizza slit.
This is not why I brought you here.
We were going to get arrested. Anywho, there was none of that tomfoolery during their date.
No.
And in fact,
I mean, the conversation, I don't know. It was just like, it's like you like make me want to be a better person. And he was just like, wow, we're being so vulnerable. Okay, this was so funny, though. It was like he knew that she was going to try to drop it because he was like, wow, we're being just so open and vulnerable. I take saying I love you really seriously, and I haven't said it. No, except he said the L word, which just made me really cringe.
Yeah, I
I'm
was
like,
like,
just
ew.
say,
Yeah.
stop. And he's like, and I haven't said that, and I take it really seriously. And then I did think that he was going to drop the I love you. And then he's just like, so want to skate?
He's just like, just wanted you to know that. I want to skate. And she was just like, so defeated. Just like.
I would have been too. I
Oh.
really did not think that was the way it was headed. And clearly neither did she.
I thought he was going there. And you know what? What was very clear to me, and I feel like after this episode, people are going to be like, oh my God, they actually are in love with each other. I think he's in love with her, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, no, Trevor was giving her a big fat flag saying, I don't want to say I love you, so do not say it to me. And then she decided to say it anyways. And then, but of course, he has to say I love you back because he's already that guy on the show.
She did say, yeah, thank goodness she said falling in love with you. Thank God.
Yeah.
Thank God.
But like, he already is probably so nervous about the narrative in which they're going to paint him. So he's like, of course I have to respond. But he was, I mean, you got to give the guy props. He was trying to make an effort to be like, please do not say I love you to me because I take it very seriously.
You're right. And I didn't really see it that way. I kind of was more on the side blindly, stupidly, you might say, of thinking that he was actually kind of into her after that. I really did. They got me. And then now that you said it, I'm like, oh, yeah, duh.
Well, I mean.
And you're right. You're right. Guys are simple. And he was saying, yeah, don't put me in this position to say I love you because I ain't feeling it right now. And I'll let you know when I'm feeling it.
And I feel like I do believe that he is starting to like her more. And I don't know if that's maybe just being stuck on the road together. You know, the road can do that to you, Bekah. Being stuck in a car for 4 hours with someone, you really can start to fall for someone. But like, I do think he is starting to like her more. Do I think they'll stay together? Absolutely not. But
no way in hell.
There's no way in hell. But I do feel like he was kind of in a, I don't want to use the term necessarily respectful, but a way trying to communicate that he wasn't necessarily ready to say, I love you.
No, I think it was a delicate way of saying that, maybe.
But here,
a delicate way of expressing.
I mean, if you've only said I love you to two people in your entire life, right? And you've been on a show now for 3 weeks, like, and you make that clear, and you make that clear to the person moments before, like, just FYI. Like,
also, like, it kind of pissed me off because she too was like, I don't think he's feeling it, but like, I'm gonna say it. I'm like, why? Then you're just kind of fishing for an answer that you know he's not ready to give.
Yeah. And by the way, when he...
Oh, she also said, I haven't felt this way in so long. And sorry to pull the age thing, but I was like, bitch, you're 21. You haven't felt this way in so long.
But like...
Even if it's been 1 year, that's like 5% of your life. No, so then I guess it is a long time.
Bekah,
if she hasn't felt that way in a year.
That was so me.
I just proved myself wrong.
I wouldn't date someone. I wouldn't Evan and I wouldn't see each other when we were dating for like a week. And I'd be like, it's literally been fucking forever since you've taken me out on a date. And he'd be like, I haven't felt the butterflies.
The butterflies are
gone.
The butterflies are gone.
It has been forever since you have taken me out and been romantic with me and shown me how much you love me. And he's been like, I took you out literally 6 days ago. And I'm like, yes, and you're correct.
Like, and how old are we? What fraction of our lives is that? You're wasting it. You're wasting our youth, Evan. Oh my gosh. Speaking of which, we forgot to plug at the beginning of the show, but just so you guys know, yeah, this episode's fire, but Thursday's episode is going to be out of freaking control.
Oh.
In a good way.
On Thursday's episode, I know we've discussed it. I don't know if you guys happen to hear it, but we have Grayston and Evan on. We have a double date via Zoom together that, podcast recording style. And we bring up the most like awkward questions we can think of. And we have...
It was just fun.
It was so much fun.
And it's juicy and it's silly and
it's silly
just
and
be
fun.
A blast
but like
to
most
to.
of us are finding out things that like the partner doesn't know yet about other people, and it's fun. It's fun. It gets wild, and it's a very unhinged, and it's very unorganized. So if you like an organized episode, you should pass. But it's so much fun.
But you won't want to pass because tea.
Because there's a lot of tea. There's a lot of tea. Bekah and Gray are definitely going to end up in People magazine. There's going to be an article about a particular thing. 100%.
Oh my gosh. I know. I gave the stupidest. Yeah.
Anywho.
I'm just going to say it right now. Grayson, we asked Grayson if there's one of my friends that we ask everyone.
Wait, are you going to tell them? No, don't drop this.
I'm not going to say who it is.
Oh, okay.
No, I'm not going to say who it is. The question is asked if you were like, if you had to sleep with who would you sleep with of the other person's friends? And each one of us had to answer that. And Grayson, when he answered, my first response was, she's not my friend. Which I'm saying right now, that is not what I meant. And I explained it. I was like, no, she's not like a friend we hang out with and you've never met her. But my first response was, she's not my friend. And I did not mean that. And I'm just prepping you now. And I'm saying now that I did not mean that. But anyway, if that's not a tease, I don't know what is. You're going to love that episode.
Because you all, may or may not know the individual.
Well, okay, let's take a pause.
So there's gonna be a lot of tea in this episode, and I'm literally quaking thinking about the calls that I'm gonna get from family after it comes out, or random friends who I named, and it's just gonna be a dramatic. What have I done? You know what I mean? What have I done? Oh, what a nightmare! But you know what's not a nightmare is this next sponsor. My God.
Oh my gosh, I love this next sponsor.
My pride and joy, really.
So much easier thanks to them.
Crown and glory. For everyone's health and safety, we're all doing our best to stay home right now, but what about those errands that are just unavoidable? Example, the post office. I have always thought it was one of those things in life that you just can't possibly avoid, no matter how inconvenient it is. But no, stamps.com. Stamps.com is an absolute lifesaver, okay? Anything you can do at the post office, you can do on stamps.com.
I have been using it a lot.
Yes.
Right now. They bring all the services of the postal service right to your computer so you can get back to business as usual without leaving your house. And you can use your computer to print official U.S. postage 24/7 for any letter, any package, any class of mail, anywhere you want to send. And this is so good and necessary for our business broads. We know that so many of you have businesses or have started businesses since our current state. And Stamps is a tool that will become your best friend. And I use it all the time, even for non-business stuff.
Yeah.
I sent my Nana a book for her birthday.
So
and I sent
sweet.
and we can print out, stamps for just regular letters too. And yeah, we've been using it actually quite a lot.
It seriously has come in.
Because I don't want to go to the post office.
It has come in the most handy in the past couple weeks, that's for sure. Honestly, just the fact that you can mail anything without waiting in line was enough to get me sold on stamps.com, but it does get better somehow. Stamps.com offers the best discounts that aren't even available at the post office, like 5 cents off every first class stamp, 40% off USPS shipping rates. Oh, and by the way, it's time to celebrate, broads, because Stamps.com is now working with UPS. Yes. How could this get better? Well, it does, because Stamps.com is offering UPS services with discount rates up to 62%. 62%.
Big deal.
I don't think I can clearly explain how much money that percentage can save you when it comes to shipping packages, because shipping packages is not cheap, and that adds up big time. Switching to Stamps.com is pretty much a no-brainer, especially now, saving you time and money and keeping everyone safe.
And right now, our listeners get a special offer that includes a 4-week trial plus free postage and a free digital scale without any long-term commitment. I used the code myself. You just go to stamps.com, click on the mic at the top of the homepage, and type in Chatty. That's stamps.com, and you enter Chatty.
Okay, so going back to Trevor and Jamie.
Where were we?
Trevor and Jamie's date, I do have to say, when she tells him that she is falling in love with him and he says it back, she gasps and throws her
and is like,
body and starts screaming. And he immediately is like, I take it back.
I regret everything.
I take it back.
Well, a lot of his verbiage too, like he said he was proud of her before she said the falling in love thing, and he said he was proud of her too with the performance. And while, yeah, that's sweet, it's definitely like, I don't think he's like meaning to be patronizing or anything, but it's definitely like not the vibe that I would want in my relationship, of the guy just being like, I'm so proud of you and how much you've grown.
Yeah, it's not
like
so much my
in
deal.
the beginning of the relationship. It feels a little bit more of like this, like, I'm like, I don't know, the age thing just really seems
I want
to
that
me
when we've been
between them.
together for a while and you notice that I've made a concentrated effort to grow in some way, and you reach out and say, I'm so proud of the fact that you did that and I'm inspired by whatever. But
Well,
this early on, it does feel.
I'm not a Trevor like stan or anything like that, but she just seems like so much more immature than him. It just really seems like that.
Yeah. No. I agree.
Where's she from?
Nashville, I think, because she was screaming that she's going home when they announced that Nashville would be their
She's
next
like,
stop.
no, I've never been there, but it's my home in my musical heart.
I feel it. I know it in my being.
Okay, well, back at the ranch, Matt and Rudy get a date card. Another date they get.
Another date. And yeah, seriously, they just had the one-on-one. And or their little fantasy suite, which was not a fantasy. But they, oh my God, they have their date. It is at On the Record. Shout out Houston Brothers. Newest spot, first spot in Vegas. We see you, Johnny and Mark. They have incredible bars. Do you know this is the people who the brothers who made On the Record, Bekah, are the same ones who do the bars here, Davey Wayne's, Break Room.
Oh.
Yeah.
Kendall's really good friends with them.
Yeah, they're great. Anyways, that's their spot. And they really, I mean, they got to see Shaggy perform, and I would love a date like this. Like,
okay, I would love it up until they made them go on stage and then started.
Yeah, agreed.
And then the romantic song that they were singing wasn't me. I'm like, this is what you guys are singing together and singing
You're
along
like,
together?
okay. Also, what if like you didn't know that song?
This was the one thing that I was really poring over. I'm like, I bet, and I really hope and pray the producers were like, yo, does one of you like actually know the lyrics of the song well enough that you can go on stage and sing it? They better have. Otherwise, that is dirty. That is dirty.
Dirty. Can you imagine they both go up?
I was getting such anxiety.
Shaggy
thinking
just
about
hangs in the hands with Mike is just
Trust me. I was like,
and they're like,
you just start performing an original.
I'm gonna have to pause for a second and perform this original tune I've been working on in my home studio. Here it goes.
Cut the music. This is a cappella.
I'm gonna need everybody to sway left and the right.
Thankfully, Matt could kind of put it down.
Yeah,
but,
seriously,
oh my God.
he seemed like a Shaggy fan. Yes, if they wouldn't have had them getting pulled up on stage, a date like this I love because it feels like real life. Like you're in the crowd.
Dancing,
Yeah,
you're just having fun.
You're not like, the crowd isn't surrounding you in a circle. You're not like standing dancing in front of the artist. You're in the crowd. It's sweaty. It's fun. You're making out.
Person.
Like it feels just normal. I like that. But you know, the date didn't necessarily go great for them because Rudy tells Matt, and it takes her a while because she's nervous. And it was a sweet moment. And like,
which, by the way, again, sorry, I have to rag on Jamie for a minute. Jamie's preaching to Bree about Rudy, being like, you just have to like open up. What's the worst that can happen? You know, you just got to go for it. I'm like, shut up.
Jamie, you don't know. Okay.
She's like, you know, just like in my experience with love, you just got to put it all out there. And, you know, it's like surprise, as like 3 seconds before she's like, I'm gonna throw up. I don't know if I can do this. Then she's like, yeah, you just gotta like put your heart out there. You know?
Yes.
What's the worst that could happen? It's not that big of a deal.
Yes. Definitely
But yeah,
definitely does one thing and then has like that mass confidence. Very much my mother energy. Shout out, mom, love you.
Well, okay, it doesn't help poor Rudy that when Matt sits down, he's looking like he's wanting to escape from the couch as quick as possible. He looked so uncomfortable when they started that little chat.
He was uncomfortable from the get-go. And then she's sweet. Like it was a very sweet like moment because you can tell she wants to say it, but it seemed to me too like she wasn't trying to make him uncomfortable. She was trying to like word it in like a way that was going to make him still feel safe. And then she finally just says that she's falling for him. And he says to her,
the most savage response ever.
I have never in my 31 years on this planet. He says, you are very courageous for speaking your truth. And I appreciate you doing
And,
that.
you know, this man may have not ever watched The Bachelor before, but if, my God, this wasn't on par.
A grade A, your truth drop. We appreciate you,
You're
Matt.
courageous.
We were waiting for...
You're courageous for speaking your truth. That is so savage.
Can you imagine?
And then it's just silence. But then this is what bummed me out is he then goes to the interview. And in the interview, you know, he's expressing himself like, I like her, but I'm not ready to, you know, say I'm falling in love with her. And I'm like, oh, Matt, why didn't you just say that to her?
It would have been so easy.
Instead of just holding that pause.
It's like that was
just being like
the longest pause to the point that she got up and walked away. And he didn't do anything except take a long sip of his drink and just kind of sit there. And I'm like, Matthew, what are you doing? I felt like his mom watching it, being like, I cannot believe what my son just did.
I know.
But he definitely seems like that personality that it like is that guy who doesn't know how to maybe communicate well.
Yeah.
Because maybe once he's behind closed doors and the producers are massaging it out of him, he's able to be comfortable like saying that. But in the moment, it's like your brain's going, I don't feel that way. Don't say the wrong thing.
Yes.
Don't.
No, he's a pretty normal guy.
He seems very like, just a guy. Just a Matt.
Well, as we see Rudy comes undone.
And I felt so bad for her because when she was like, I don't think he really likes me like that, and she's crying. Can you like? I cannot imagine being in her shoes and having that happen when, by the way, you just spent the night together, and you're really into this person, and they commend your courageousness for speaking your truth. That's the response after you say, I'm falling for you.
I know, and poor Matt. I think you're totally right that he just kind of freezes and doesn't know what to do. But the proper response for anyone who's wondering is just like, I so appreciate you saying that. I really care about you. I don't feel like I'm there yet and comfortable enough to say it, but I want you to know that I am interested in moving forward and seeing where this goes or something like that.
And that would be a correct response. Not complimenting your courage.
Wow, it takes a lot of courage to tell someone that doesn't give a shit about you how much you love them. I commend you for that.
You are very brave.
Yeah. Wow, you're so brave. That's so funny.
Well, then we have Ryan and Natasha date, which again, we're suddenly...
Cuts very abruptly to them.
They do that to us every time with the Ryan and Natasha date. You know what, ABC?
They don't want us to get invested.
Fuck you. You always cut us short. You interrupt. You've interrupted every single Ryan and Natasha musical performance to insert Trevor and Jamie drama or whatever. And the one time you didn't interrupt was this time when they were like, you know, kind of bombing.
I know.
I'm like, how dare you? Okay.
I know.
It's so upsetting.
We do actually see like kind of, thank goodness they didn't cut this, a kind of real relationship moment between Natasha and Ryan.
Yeah.
When they're sitting and she's like, I don't want to put any pressure on you. And he's like, I thought you wanted something else at the beginning. And I was like, damn, I thought you wanted something else too. But could this be love?
I kind of like Bekah. Like, I don't know.
I'm confused.
All of a sudden, I was like, "Is this the power couple that we've been waiting for?" Like, they're
it'll be interesting to see. Yeah,
two very different people. Like, at least it seems that way, but also not. But when they had that moment, it was very like it. You know what it felt like? It felt like so much of their conversation has been edited because when Ryan said, you know, when Natasha right away was like, I like you just the way you are, you know, and he was saying, oh, I thought you were looking for something different. And he said, I thought I was letting you down. It makes it seem like, and then she said, I didn't know you, but you make me feel calmer and happier. So there must have been conversations that we didn't see where him letting her down in some way, or there was some sort of like growth curve that they had that we didn't see at all. And they also, like, it was, I don't know, it was just like a really vulnerable conversation. And
well, I can't figure out if they're still together, which is what I really want to know.
I know, I was looking.
Because I'm looking on their Instagram, and, you know, tonight would be the night where they would be able to release it, but I haven't seen anything.
I know, and I was going to DM either of them, but I just feel bad.
I know, for real.
I'm really curious, and I feel like both of them would answer because they're both like very lovely people.
I know.
But I also just don't want to. I know that this is like part of our job, but I love them both from afar, and I don't want to invade on their privacy.
I know.
I'm like, when they're ready to come out, they will. Now, I'm sure they're going to like spill the tea today on like Nick's podcast or Caitlin's or one of the other ones.
Said sometimes she tweeted, sometimes it's just not your night. And that's okay. We've had many and we'll have many more. All part of being human and performer. Is we with Ryan? I don't know.
I mean, if they are together, I am such a fan. I can't even express to you. Like, yes. But they're the only couple that we've seen who left the show saying that they were going to continue to pursue a relationship.
I know.
And
I don't think they are still together. That's my vibe.
Yeah, maybe just like friends, but not lovers.
Yeah.
Well, it
happens.
It happens. Well, I'm also very much like, I'm very pro Natasha for Bachelorette. I feel like she'd be a fantastic Bachelorette. She's what, 32? She's beautiful. She's super charming. They could throw in some fun musical dates, you know.
Or what if they put Ryan on Claire's season?
I mean, I would not hate to see more Ryan, that's for sure. And I do forget that he's 28 because he looks very young. Yeah, he is 28, huh?
Well, now that Natasha and Ryan seem sort of more real, I could also kind of see it with him and Claire. Oh, God.
Oh, my God. I'm down for any and all.
I'm down for it too. Okay, so
well, we're shifted right away into them getting their song. They're very excited, or Natasha's very excited that they got this Ed Sheeran song perfect. Ed Sheeran and Beyonce, and she's talking about that she loves the song, and Ryan says that he's like looking to change it so that it's not as slow. And this was a moment where shed a tear for their departure. But I was like, this is a partnership, because you have two musicians, you have two professionals, right? Who want to, like, they want to make the best impression for the judges. One loves the song in its originality. The other wants to change it. And Natasha immediately goes, all right, let's do it. And they trust each other musically, which I feel like, I know it might sound silly, but they don't really talk about that with the other couples. Everything is about like, what's the chemistry on stage together. I think what's more a tell of like a deep relationship is trusting the other person when they're arranging the song, or trusting, like, you know.
Well, everyone else is doing super predictable shit.
Right.
So it's like there's not any clash between anyone else, because they're just like, let's just sing the song.
But what happened with the two of them, I think you throw that dynamic in with most of the other couples and it would have been like a showdown. No. We should stay this way. No, I think we should mix it up. And then they're arguing. And then when it goes wrong, then Natasha could have blamed Ryan and been like, actually, like, did I sing the wrong thing at first? Yes, but you mixed it up and it would have been better if we would have. There was no blame that went on. It was like they.
You know
They trust
You
each
know what
other's
would've been
choices.
good?
What?
What would have been good to mix it up is if they gave each couple a choice between 2 songs, and then the couple had to decide together which one they wanted to sing.
Producer Bekah coming in for the win.
What can I say?
Hire me.
That could be kind of interesting.
That would be very interesting. I'm sure.
Especially when especially when there's fucking losers like Brandon who don't know who Pat Benatar is.
Oh my God. I already forgot about Brandon.
Oh God.
Well, Chris and Bree get Elvis Presley, and they're like,
yeah, which is hilarious. Bree's like, that's our song, babe.
And they're like shocked. It's Destiny. I'm like, but the cameras were there, so it's not really Destiny.
No, the producers who are still here talking to you every 15 minutes were also there on that date. Coincidence?
Wow. Fate.
Jamie and Trevor get just a kiss. Rudy's meanwhile just pouting, but they get shallow, baby. They get it.
They get the Holy Grail.
So this could be they could take it all the way, because
it's true.
On this show that they've been touting as what's that movie called?
A Star is Born.
That they've been touting as the Star is Born reality TV show.
Yes.
They get the song.
The song.
This is a setup.
Right? It feels like if they don't win this, it's going to be like, why did you give them the Holy Grail song?
I know.
And why didn't you save that song for the last episode?
True.
I don't understand. The choices, I don't
Either
understand.
way, they knocked it out of the park, though.
Oh.
They knocked it out of the park.
My
so this
God.
actually, you know what? You might be right. They really might be creating a character arc for Matt and Rudy.
Yeah.
I'm fine with it. I'll get behind it.
If they, I will absolutely, you know what? I'll say this right now. I would go see Matt and Rudy in concert for sure.
I would too.
I think they're fantastic.
They always put on a good show.
Fantastic.
Always.
Great energy, incredible voices.
Okay, now what was hilarious is when they're in the recording studio practicing, and Matt's like talking to the recording musicians, and they're just like, we don't care. He's like, I would not be here, everyone, without this girl. Let me tell you.
And they're like, you wouldn't be here without us, who, by the way, the band every week, like standing O, this band slays every week.
Actually, they probably don't care that he's doing that. They're probably like, we're getting paid hourly. Just keep chatting on, brother.
But like,
keep the speeches
but like,
up.
you probably should be thanking us more, because we're having to figure out all the arrangements that you guys are coming for. We make you guys sound even better every week. Wow,
they had a full studio. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
full crowd.
That band is phenomenal.
Now for the performances and the judges.
Which, by the way, Chris Harrison reveals at the top that they are at the Nomad Hotel. And again, he throws
where Lady Gaga performs.
Lady Gaga has performed here.
She's probably stood right where I'm standing.
I'm just like, first of all,
incredible.
What's with ABC's boner for her? I mean, worship at the feet. Understand.
No,
but like,
it's like it's like he's not even talking about Lady Gaga. It's like he's talking about the character in A Star is Born that Lady Gaga played.
Now, I'm going to say this. If Lady Gaga isn't the final judge, I'm embarrassed for the show, because the amount they've been talking about this, if she's not the final surprise judge, it is embarrassing. Can you imagine?
Or maybe it'll be Bradley Cooper.
Okay.
Not Lady Gaga.
One of them. If it's not one of them, it's embarrassing.
It's going to be Chris Christopherson from the 70s version is what they're actually going to do.
And I would even be okay with that. But if there's no association, even if Lady Gaga's fucking sister showed up, I'd be like, all right, fine. But if there's no...
I know the amount of times they've name dropped, I would sue if I was them. I was like, you guys need to stop like using us as like a tag.
Lady Gaga's just like in her home, quarantined with her shades on, and she's just like, why
did they keep my name out of your mouth?
I watched the last The Bachelor, and I thought that was fantastic, but I don't know what the fuck this show is, and they keep talking about me, and I'm embarrassed.
Quite frankly, it's embarrassing.
It's embarrassing.
Quit associating me with
My
the show.
numbers are actually going down somehow, so like,
well,
please cease and desist.
The judges actually this week were pretty good. I'm not going to lie. Well, first of all, we have my ex-boyfriend.
Your ex-boyfriend shows up. And by the way, your ex-boyfriend dares to show up with a goddess. How insane did Lauren look?
She was looking smoking. That dress, what the fuck?
I was bowing.
Yeah, she looked so good.
I was bowing at the TV. I'm like, everyone else can leave, to be honest. Like,
they looked like they were starring in some sort of like show about like taking political office.
Yes.
You know, like a House of Cards vibe.
Yes.
Minus creepy what's his face?
Yeah.
But
Kevin Spacey.
That was the vibe that I was getting.
They were looking
really good in that dress.
I know. It was like very like Helen of Troy meets the House of Cards future.
We have Pat Monahan from Train. That's a pretty big name.
That's a big one. Bree's face was like, she was shook to the core when they announced Pat's name. And then on top of it, Ashley Simpson and Evan Ross, like, Goals. I mean, fashion couple goals. Are you kidding me? These two?
She looks so good.
Both of them are just.
Well, she just like really does not age.
No, she really doesn't. And they both have the raspiest voices I've ever heard. And I live for a raspy voice, obviously. Jamie, you hear her saying, Train was my first concert. Evan and Ashley are awesome. Pieces of Me was my jam. And Ari and Lauren were brave and cute, and he listened to his heart. I was like, somebody take the mic away.
I know, I could not with her commentary. Pieces of Me? Oh my God, I stan. Ari and Lauren stan.
Oh gosh. But that you were right. The judges were great.
Yeah, I thought they had some good commentary too.
Yeah, and Chris Harrison was like, you judges have a huge responsibility tonight. And they're all like, we're actually like really famous, so I think we're fine.
How much are you paying us again?
How much were you going to be paying us? 'Cause nah.
Well, okay, performances. Before we get into the performances, should we take a quick pause? Yes, we shall.
Let's take a quick pause. So, Broads, listen. The future is incredibly unpredictable right now, which can lead to a lot of anxiety. But one way to create a small sense of control is by being proactive and prepared. And when we talk about being prepared, do you have life insurance in order? Life insurance is one of those things that you may not think about or you put it off, but it is so, so important. And if you do not have life insurance, don't worry. America's leading online insurance marketplace, Policy Genius, is here to help you and take out all the mystery behind choosing what's right for you.
And if you've ever shopped for any type of insurance before, you know it sucks. And how complicated the different options can be, not to mention the fact that there are so many companies to choose from. It's really impossible to know if you're getting the best deal. I had to shop for insurance for my daughter. Sucks. Policy Genius, though, saves you all the legwork because they compare quotes from all the top life insurance companies to find your best coverage at the best price.
Once you pick the best option for you, Policy Genius team handles all the paperwork and red tape for free. Broads, I say this with every piece of me, with all the pieces of me. I'm telling you, you cannot put a price on this. If I was left to my own to, first of all, choose the right life insurance, and then I had to deal with the paperwork and red tape after, yeah, it's not happening. I've given up. I quit. But because of Policy Genius, we don't have to. So thank you. And check this. Policy Genius will be in contact with your life insurance company of choice every day to help you navigate the entire process as easily as possible. Their whole mission is to help people get the right insurance the right way by making it easy to understand. Since 2014, they've been able to help over 30 million people shop for life insurance. I use Policy Genius. They were incredible. I highly, highly, highly recommend them.
So if you're one of the many people looking to buy life insurance right now, but you're not sure where to start, you should definitely head to policygenius.com because Policy Genius will find you the best rate, handle the process completely, and you can stop worrying about life insurance and get back to baking your own bread or adopting a furry friend or whatever the heck else you're doing to stay busy during this time. But check out policygenius.com.
Love Policy Genius. Also love this next sponsor. Huge fan. Huge.
Oh my gosh, me too.
So this might be an unpopular opinion, but I am sick of sweatpants. Okay.
No.
I'm sick of it. I'm sick of the
Agree.
soft clothes. I'm sick of switching from my nighttime pajamas to my daytime pajamas. But also, let's be real, I'm not leaving the house. So I'm making do by adding glamour in any way I can think of. And I've started that with my jewelry. And who said I can't wear fine jewelry to a pillow fort with my precious daughter, okay? Looking glam. Tradition says fine jewelry for occasions. My favorite jewelry brand, Majori, says fine jewelry for fun, for always.
Majuri's my go-to. I'm actually surprised I don't have anything Majuri on. I normally do at all times. They've got ethically sourced fine jewelry without the traditional markups. They've got pieces in 14 karat solid gold, sterling silver, and they contain real pearls and diamonds, and there's something for every taste and every budget. You absolutely shouldn't have to break the bank to look and feel great. I have these little croissant-shaped mini hoops and little croissant-shaped, that's the style. It's not really in the shape of
I was like, oh, delish.
But
I haven't seen that one.
Gold ring and earrings. I get questions about them all the time. I'm always wearing them on my Instagram story. And one of my friends actually hit me up the other day and she was like, do you know of any actual gold earrings that you recommend and then you maybe have a code for? Because she was like, I can't wear anything else in my ears now. And I was like, Majuri.
Gotcha.
And got a code for you.
Well, one of the best things about Majuri is that even though they have so many pieces to choose from with new releases happening every Monday, all of them go together like one seamless collection. I have rings from over a year ago and others that are fairly recent, and they all look like they came from the same drop. And if you need help figuring out which pieces to choose or need answers to questions like how should I style this or what size ring should I buy, you can book a digital one-on-one appointment or live chat with a stylist wherever you're at. Majuri stylists are always available to help. And I will say this as clearly as I can. Majuri is my favorite jewelry, hands down. Been wearing Majuri for years, and now I am honored. No, I'm humbled that we were able to tell you broads about them.
Yep, I love them. Get free shipping on all US and Canada orders, plus easy returns and a 2-year warranty. You just have to head to majuri.com/chatty. You'll get 10% off your first order. You will not regret it.
You will not.
Their stuff is so
Trust
cute.
and believe.
I'm gonna, I
know,
maybe
literally
going on their website right now. Takes everything in me.
Every time we do an ad for them, I'm like so tempted to pull up my phone and be like, I have to scan the new releases. I want my fingers and my ears to look pretty for quarantine.
Yeah. That's MEJURI.com/chatty for 10% off your first order. I know. You can go take care of your insurance needs from Policy Genius and then go reward yourself for getting that boring shit done.
Oh,
by then going to get yourself some fine jewelry with all the money you've saved on your insurance policy.
Yeah, reward yourself by being like, I'm going to have some other people do it and they're going to take care of it for me. And because I'm smart and I handle it and let other people at Policy Genius take care of it for me, I will reward myself. Okay, so the performances.
Okay, where were we? All right, so like I said, we start out with Bree and Chris, who are boring as hell until it did start to pick up. It got fun.
It definitely
picked
up at the end.
But acknowledge the damn audience. We get it. You're in love. We get it that you're supposed to be showcasing that on stage, but please acknowledge the fact that you're performing in front of a crowd. And like you said, they're getting away with it because they have different judges every week.
Yep.
So the judges think like, wow, look at this beautiful, intimate performance. Little do they know, it's the same performance with a different song every single damn week.
Facts. You know, if Jason Mraz or Rachel saw them doing this week after week, they would call them out like that. It would be like, loved your first performance, but like this is round 4 of this and it's getting to be too much.
Well, and you also know that they're going kind of easy on them because you know producers have prepped them being like, just so you guys know, this is a show about love. I know you guys are all serious musicians, but this is about love. So like, you know, make it about their onstage chemistry. So, you know, when they see it, they're like, this must be exactly what the show is looking for. So they get rave reviews every week.
They've stared into each other's eyes the entire time. So I suppose like they're absolutely in love. I just, When I see a performance and I see two people on stage, when I feel on stage chemistry, I want them to look at each other like they're in love and they want to like run to the bedroom. But I also want them to like occasionally look at me and make me feel like maybe they'll run to the bedroom with me too. Like, let's have this be a group chemistry.
Well, I don't want to feel like I'm left out of the experience.
Yes.
And I have to say that's what it seems like every time.
Yeah, I'm not a part of it. I want to be a part of it.
Yeah.
Well, Pat is taking notes furiously the entire time. And I was like, I appreciate that Pat is really taking this shit seriously.
Pat is taking it seriously. 100%. I also noted that. And I was like, go Pat.
I also was like very offended for Pat that they didn't have Drops of Jupiter as one of the songs.
That's a good one too.
Or Marry Me. Talk about a romantic song. Come on, guys.
I'd be so pissed if they did that to me.
Yeah.
I'd be like, marry me. Are you kidding me?
They should have given that to Matt and Rudy and just made them squirm.
Or Bree and Chris.
But there are so many like romantic train songs. I'd be like, excuse me.
I know.
You're not going to use one of mine?
Wait, real shit though. Why didn't they? Drops of Jupiter would be a great one.
I don't understand. It's like they didn't use a Toni Braxton song last episode. Are you kidding me? All that fire. And even like, let's pop in an Ashley Simpson song. Like, let's.
For real.
You mentioned I'm Yours would have been a perfect Jason Mraz song. Missed opportunities. I don't get it.
Anyway, they get good reviews as usual.
Yeah. Everyone was fans. Judges were fans. Audience was fans. Well, Trevor and Jamie we're shocked. She's like, I'm a rock star tonight. I'm a confident woman.
Oh, yeah.
She's like air punching. Trevor's like, what happened? She's not puking for the first time. Like, I'm confused. Maybe he's turned on. He says he's nervous and she's not nervous for the first time.
Okay, we need to talk about the way they started this song.
Yes, my dear.
The way they got into position.
How they organized themselves into position.
How they organized themselves straight up into position.
Yeah.
Choreography set. You get behind me. It kind of reminded me of like a maternity photo kind of setup, with him.
Yes.
Sort of.
Yes.
I expected him to put his hand on her belly.
And then be like,
thing.
Surprise.
Yeah.
The tour bus did it.
Baby. Yeah. Tour bus, baby. Still super awkward in my opinion, but better.
Yeah. I know everyone was like, oh my God, like even Natasha was acknowledging their chemistry and was like, wow, it was intense.
I was confused by everyone's like super rave reviews.
I think I was like typing rave things just because I was so shocked because the difference between last week to this week was drastic.
Right.
Her voice she was so much strong. Like she wasn't shaky. She wasn't just grabbing him constantly like out of nerves. Yeah. It felt like,
oh God. Yeah.
It wasn't, I'll say this, it wasn't impossible for me to watch. Last week's, I was doing a little bit of this because I was like, I feel too uncomfortable. And like, I was
that was
able to watch this one easy.
No, it was a lot better. I still felt like all the judges were gushing and I was confused about that.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, like Ari and Lauren were like swaying together. Chris Harrison was like, yes, this is everything we've been waiting for.
I didn't think it was horrible.
No.
I just didn't think it was that. I don't know.
Well, that is the moment then that sweet Lauren says,
oh, what? Yeah, I don't know.
Did you not catch this?
No, I thought we were going to talk about Ryan and Natasha's performance. What happened?
Oh no. Don't worry. I'm going to pull this up because there is a moment where Lauren is explaining to Trevor and Jamie that she sees the goofiness between them and it reminds her of her and Ari, which is sweet. And I get that because they had that on stage. But I had to like stop it and rewind it like 15 times because I thought she said a penis. And I'm going to play this for you. And yes, it was goofiness, but okay.
It was really innocent and easy. I think you guys have a good penis between you that I recognize you as
a good penis between you. It does sound like a good penis, doesn't it?
And I was looking down taking notes and I popped up just like like a little gopher out of a hole. I was just like,
that is hilarious because when you said it, I definitely heard it. I definitely heard goofiness. I didn't hear anything like penis, but now what you
I'm playing it one more
I can't
time.
hear anything else.
It was really innocent and easy. I think you guys have a goofiness between you that
No, I hear goofiness,
you don't hear
but I can also hear penis.
good penis.
Good penis.
I was laughing so hard. And also, I am so stoked for all the memes tomorrow, and it's going to be fantastic because Lauren's a good sport, and I feel like she'll give herself a hard time because it sounded just like that.
I did not. I mean,
I can't believe you didn't hear it.
is this? I heard it, but I had to search to hear it. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh, it was. I'm telling you, I stopped and I had
Are
to
people
rewind.
saying it, talking about it?
Oh yes.
Oh
And I stopped and I was
gosh.
just like, what is happening? Did you just say a good penis? And then once I heard goofiness, I was like, oh yes, that's now what I hear. But the first round and then the second round, I was like, a good penis.
Oh my gosh. I'm gonna see if it's going off on Twitter.
And also Lauren had like a serious sweet expression. And I'm like, did she just drop a comment saying that they have a good penis between them and she's staying serious the whole time?
My God. You guys have a good penis between you. Just keeps going on.
Congratulations. Congratulations about that. You guys also did a great job. Great performance.
Oh my God, Jamie's tweeting about herself. I got that confidence.
Oh no.
It's a journey, but I'm so proud of myself for that. Oh my gosh.
Well, I'm very interested to see what happens next week with Jamie and Trevor in their performance.
Oh shit, roasted. Damn, I started looking at the Listen to Your Heart Twitter memes, and I was like,
people getting
oh, dear.
roasted?
Well, some people just go kind of hard. I mean, Twitter is the Wild West.
Yeah, I stay off of the Twitter.
Yep, me too.
Get
It's terrifying, actually.
It gets a little scary.
It's terrifying. It brings out literally the worst in me every time I go on it. The worst in me, like the most defensive part of
Same.
myself.
I'm like, oh,
I hate it.
why am I trolling trolls right now? Like
why do I care so fucking much?
Why am I so defensive about anything and everything?
Well, okay, so now
Natasha and Ryan.
At first when it started up and the music starts going, I'm like, okay, let's go. This is going to be hot.
And her voice comes out and it is gorgeous. And you see Pat perk up and everyone's like, oh, damn. And then his voice comes up and everyone's like, oh, damn. And I'm like, we're going to have another perfect Natasha Ryan performance. And then
Mic Stand Gate 2020.
yeah, that was rough. Well, as soon as the tempo picked up and I even heard the salsa coming and I was like, okay.
Yeah, no,
Okay.
exactly. So I was like, let's go.
And
I'm ready.
And I'm like, how dare I not trust Ryan? Because first and foremost, when he was like, hey, it's kind of boring, let's pick it up. I'm like, oh gosh, what awkward fast thing is going to happen? And then when the salsa tempo started, I was like,
good.
all right.
It was
right.
good until it wasn't. And it just seemed like one big accident. You know, I will say, I'm going to be a little critical. You said that they handled it like pros.
You didn't think so?
No. Ryan should have ditched the fucking guitar because what was more important than him fucking playing the guitar was him singing the duet with her.
Yes.
Not him singing every 1 in 5 lines that when she passed the mic to him. And so that really bothered me. I'm like, okay, I know this. I know it's hard. It's improv. You've got to think on your toes. But like, in that split second critical decision, you have to decide that your singing is more important than your guitar playing.
Yes.
And I know you're a musician, so you're thinking like, I'm carrying the tune on my guitar, but like, no, take off your guitar.
I completely agree with you. I will say when I'm saying that I think that they handled it like pros, I mean more in their expression.
They didn't show it on their faces.
Their expression. Yeah. They acted calm the entire time. They didn't panic. Yeah. And I feel like numerous people in that situation.
Jamie just would have been blowing chunks all over the stage. That would have been bad.
It's just a bridesmaids moment with the sweat streaming down. She's just like, it's just explosive.
Yeah, that would have been horrible.
Ari, Lauren, Ashley, Evan, and Pat are just
They're just all
covered
like-
in vomit.
Just disgusted.
You-
Yeah, no, they held it together.
They really held it, but I
was
know
just
what you
like,
mean. Yeah, 100%.
Why? Like, this is
100%.
not the priority, and that kind of drove me nuts. But you know,
and
you
then when
can only-
and then when she handed him the mic while he had the guitar, and I was like, no, oh my god.
it was very, very difficult to watch.
You know when you
but that happens.
Yeah. You know when you have those moments, like whether it be I'll use for you maybe when you were on stage in a musical or something of the sort, and you make a mistake or you forget a line or something happens and you have that ringing in your ears. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Like the world is just frozen
And it's like
and sped up at the same time.
Oh my God, a perfect description. It's like crawling through like molasses, but also it's just going 1,000 miles an hour, like dizzy. But it's that ringing in your ears all of a sudden where it's like in horror movies where it's like, you're like, oh God. That was what I felt like I was.
Disorienting.
That's what I felt like I was watching when I saw this performance. I felt like, they both had that ringing in their ears and you couldn't make a critical decision because these are two people who always knock it out of the park, who are always professional, and they made mistakes. And then they're like, oh shit.
It was one of the most real performance moments I've seen, though, because like obviously not everything's going to be hit out of the park, and I felt like it was a great learning and growing experience, and I wanted to watch them keep learning and growing.
I know. But
there is only one more episode.
Yeah,
so.
but also like you said, I mean, no one else is taking chances, and they took a risk, and they've been taking like certain risks every performance,
and they've been putting on actual performances. They have like choreography. They have some, they're planning this. They're not just.
Maybe they relaxed.
Sorry to throw other people under the table, but they're not just like standing there holding hands, singing Kumbaya into each other's eyes, which is like, I'm sorry, that's not how you make a musical career. Meanwhile, they're taking it seriously. I feel like there's actually a connection. I was getting so pissed because, again, they got to Jamie and she's going, I did feel like there was a disconnect and like emotions are the glue that hold it together. And I was like, shut the fuck up.
I'm like,
shut up.
I understand you are now a realized woman because Trevor told you apparently he's falling in love with you. But last week, people were holding your hair as you were puking before and after the performance, okay? Ryan and Natasha had
Also,
a moment.
like,
They
you
got too
literally-
comfortable. They probably were like, we kill this and we dominate the competition every week. So like, they probably relaxed a little too much.
I think there's just, I think shit just didn't go as was planned, and that happens.
Yeah.
It happens. Happens to the best of them.
Well,
Wait, who was it? Wait, isn't it Ashley Simpson who had the terrible SNL performance?
Oh, yes, indeed.
The worst SNL performance of all time?
Yes. And you know what's interesting about that performance, if you go back and watch it, which is so weird now, is that was a time where they weren't really using like a lot of like playback tracks. And I think it wasn't even like what started playing was a harmony. And she just came in like on the wrong note, and everyone was giving her.
Guys, you got to look this up. You got to look up Ashley Simpson SNL performance.
But everyone was giving her, I think, so much shit and saying like she was lip syncing, but I think it was literally just her. She was going to sing over a backup track, and she like someone started on the wrong note, or she did, or something, but. It started to happen, and she did that weird jig because she was uncomfortable.
The country, like a ding, a ding, a ding, and then literally just kind of like throws up her hands and just walks off stage.
Yeah, it was so uncomfortable
that shit
to watch.
Is gnarly.
I thought she was gonna make a comment. I thought she was gonna be like, "Well, listen, I understand. We have
She's like,
have
what?
our days."
That didn't happen.
Yeah, she's literally like, "That absolutely never happened."
I don't know what you're talking about. They're like, here's the footage right here. We're going to play it on the screen. She's like, that's not me.
I felt so bad for her, though, because it was like, that's like
Jessica.
Yeah, no, seriously, but it was always like Jessica Simpson, and then Ashley's blowing up, and then that happened, and she was great. But everyone just remembered her for that shit, which was bogus.
Point being, everyone has a bad performance
Everybody
every
does.
now and then.
Everybody does.
But it doesn't discredit you as a musician, and that's what pissed me off. I'm like, we're really not going to look at any of their other performances.
I know. It was like when you watch American Idol and Simon would not take into consideration the weeks before and would like come really hard just for that week. And I'd be like, Simon, remember the past 12 weeks, okay? It was very upsetting for me always.
It's not fair that someone... Yeah. Anyway,
Natasha immediately mouths that she's sorry to Ryan.
I know.
And Pat was like, I don't know why you had to play the guitar, man. It was like 2 separate performances. Is that what your relationship is like? And I'm like, oh, God.
I know. That
is brutal.
That was brutal.
I'm like, dude, Pat is pulling a Jason Mraz and going off the cuff right now.
He is coming for these motherfuckers hard.
And Natasha, I felt so, like, my heart hurt so badly for Natasha because she was putting so much blame on herself, and it was just like a little blip, and that one moment of a blip like spiraled into so much. And you see that like Ryan is like, it's okay, it's fine, but like, you know that she just, because they're performing as duos, like, and she is such a professional, that you know that haunted her for like weeks and weeks.
I know. I think both of them, I mean, I was just looking on their Twitters a little bit earlier, and both of them are just kind of like smacking themselves.
Yeah.
I don't get though also why she didn't just leave the mic stand in the first place. Why did she panic and move it out of the way?
Well, I feel like when we saw them before they came on, after Trevor and Jamie, like, you know, in the judges from the judges' perspective, slammed it, Natasha started to get nervous, and then her and Ryan had that pep talk before, and that's why I'm wondering if maybe they were like getting a little too comfy because they just kill it every time, and all of a sudden seeing Trevor and Jamie really nail it, it was like, oh shit, have we prepared enough? So. Or I mean, who knows? But the nerves were there from the beginning for sure.
Yeah.
And then Ari came in and was like, I feel like it was a performance, but in the same breath, it was a performance. And I was like, that was sage, Ari, and that was brutal. But
I know.
It was also
actually, I was like,
so
that was
good.
a really good. That was a pretty good critique.
It's like, damn.
Because
But yeah, it was. Oh yeah, that was that. Then Jamie, we see Jamie's moments, and she also made some comment, and she was just like, I mean, the music is the glue that holds it together. And I was like, I know. As a married woman who actually has been married to a musician for almost 10 years, I can say, no, Jamie, that is not the glue to a relationship. And also, we see it every week. We see it with Jamie's relationship. We saw it this week with Matt and Rudy's relationship. That you get an adrenaline rush after you perform and you do well, and your adrenaline is like peaking. You're like, oh my God, I do love you. And then that goes away in a couple days.
I mean,
and that's just the fact.
Yeah.
That's just the fact.
What are you going to say about it?
That's the thing.
Well, I was really holding on to the hope that Rudy and Matt were going to bomb.
I know.
But damn it, they sounded great.
Oh, I mean,
they were so good.
So good. It was insane.
They always have, you know what? I will say this about them. There's something Ryan and Natasha I didn't see before. Rudy and Matt are super organic on stage together.
Yes.
It doesn't have to be like rehearsed or choreographed. Yes. They go up and they're organic, and yeah.
And every time
they really do have that chemistry.
And every time he stands with the guitar tilted towards her and she does the same thing, but yet I'm excited every time. They set it up the same way, but yet it's exciting every time.
There's energy, you know?
Yeah. It was so good, Bekah. It was so good. And it was so good to the point that she hit the sha-la-la-la, which normally I'm cringing at that part of the song. I just can't stand the part. And I was loving it.
I know. Isn't it the worst?
It's the worst. I'm just like, the songwriting.
I hate it too.
The songwriting is impeccable. And then all of a sudden we go to sha-la-la-la.
Sha-la-la-la. Just some filler sha-la-la-las. I know.
But even in that, and then when she got to the that part, that I didn't think she was going to do that. And she crushed it.
They sounded great. Oh. They sounded great.
Wow. I mean, and then when they get on the one mic, it got real hot. towards the end, it was like,
I mean, and you know, because like the musicians were like, yes, they were like grooving.
they were like calling them out. And then when the judges discussed it too, Pat, I felt like gave the highest of compliments when he said, if you can turn that into original music, like,
Oh yeah,
you guys have something special. And I was like, wow, as an artist, hearing that from someone would be like,
have
holy
we
shit.
seen them do anything original together?
No, do you think that that's what the final one is going to be? Like maybe they'll all do one cover and one original.
Ooh, I hope.
I want an original, right? Like
Maybe they'll like do one as the competition for the overnight, and then the other one will be like the final
oh,
deciding
interesting.
factor or something.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I feel like they're going to squeeze in as much music as possible.
I kind of hope so. You know,
Yeah.
at first I hated it, and then now it's kind of my favorite part of
No,
the
I
episodes.
look forward to it now.
Me too. Like literally when it got to the performances this time, I was like, "Oh!" Rubbing my hands, I was like, "Here we go! I'm ready." I was so excited.
I was the same way. I was like, should I get back into American Idol again? It's been quite a
My
few
parents
years.
watch it still every damn year, and it actually still is good. I have to say, whenever like I was at my parents' house and I would watch it with them, I'd be like,
You're like,
I'd call them the next week, you know, be talking to them. I'd be like, so did Alejandro make it to next week? Or
you're like, this shit is dumb.
asking
And then
for
you're
a
calling
friend.
them. So how's Alejandro doing? Is Katie still a full stan? Okay, got it.
Real though. Oh my God. There actually was this kid last season, by the way, named Alejandro, who was like real good.
Really?
Anyway, so
Anyway,
now for the rose ceremonies. I mean, roses ceremony.
the roses ceremony. Well, quick note, by the way. Somehow Matt and Rudy have apparently such a phenomenal chemistry on stage that they go off stage and nothing is discussed, but yet somehow they're like together. I was very confused.
Oh, I know. The music worked it out, my friend. They don't even have to speak. When they sing, the heart pulls them together.
There's no need for words.
There is no need for words any longer.
It just went from it being just like tumultuous to her saying like, we have our ups and downs, but like we're getting stronger, and it's just better and better. And I'm like, was anything emotionally resolved? Like, I feel like I'm missing a piece. And then Matt saying like, she's incredible, I want to play music with her for forever. And I'm just like, I don't.
No, literally they but I also was feeling like they did a lot of I felt like they did a lot of editing this episode to make them look like they were rockier going into that performance than they actually were.
I think you're right. Well, yes.
It seemed like that, but
Anywho, back to the roses.
But I think they
ceremony.
are creating an arc. I've now said this like 5 times.
But
that
now,
I agree
see,
with
damn
you,
it,
but
Bekah. Now I hope so, and I'm banking on it. And if Matt and Rudy
know.
don't win, I'm going to be distraught.
But they've really created an arc for Trevor and Jamie too, which is disturbing.
It's very disturbing. Wow.
Because I think they're trying to make that happen too.
I feel like they're trying to make that happen as well. I feel like they're pushing it on us, which we knew from
I know.
the first episode or the second episode. You and I said, we're like, he's going to be made to be the bad guy for one episode, and then they're going to force their love on us for sure. Force their love.
We're like, we don't want it. We don't want it. They're like, you're gonna have it.
You're gonna love it. Well, speaking of them, they
get the first
they get the
roses.
first rose, which it's just like, seriously, Matt and Rudy, and I know that they have to save it for like, you know,
I know.
the drama, but Matt and Rudy got the second rose, so clearly they didn't have to save it that much. It's like, are you
know.
kidding me?
Well, then they really killed it.
That's what I'm saying. They should have gotten the first.
That was no surprise. Oh yeah,
It
true.
was like, what? No.
Oh, I see your point.
Matt and
yeah,
Rudy.
no.
Yeah, so Jamie and Trevor, and then Matt and Rudy get it, and then it's down to Chris and Bree and Ryan and Natasha. Of course, we know that Ryan and Natasha are going home. This whole time, Ryan is smirking, and it's because he knows that they have musical careers outside of this show. And he's like, let me fly. Let us fly together. He doesn't seem too distraught because I'm pretty sure
hope
that they're
they-
both confident in their abilities.
I hope they do well.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, and then when it wraps, which I thought it was interesting, Chris Harrison a tell to editing is Chris is like, you can say now, say your goodbyes. And last week when he said that to Julia and Brandon got to go say goodbye to everyone because they were hoping drama would be stirred. And this week, Natasha and Ryan did not get to say goodbye to everyone. And I'm like, okay.
I did think it was interesting that they made a point of saying they wanted to continue their relationship.
I know, and it was actually like a really, really sweet moment when they had their moment inside, and then they went outside together and talk about being proud of the other of mutual proudness, mutual
Very
pride,
sweet.
the fact that they made it this far, and I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm done, ABC.
Cheers to them. I know, right?
Well, Chris,
You better make this 10-part series good.
yeah, seriously. If you're going to pull Ryan and Natasha away from us, you better make sure that this upcoming series is fire.
Right?
I want all the extra tea. Also, I'm pretty sure it's a confirmation that you are going to be, your season is going to be one of the 10, considering that Ari and Lauren were judges.
I know.
Oh,
And Chris called him a memorable bachelor.
I cannot wait. I cannot wait. I'm tingling.
I know. I hope I get some sort of appearance on when they discuss it. I really do.
I mean,
selfishly.
honestly, Bekah, it would just be weird if you didn't, unless they literally made the entire. But it's going to be 3 hours. They can't for 3 hours.
3 hours.
They can't for 3 hours make the whole thing about Lauren and Bekah. They're going to show the drama. They're going to show pieces with you, and they're going to show Crystal, and they're going to show Tia. Like, they have to show you. Come on.
Yeah,
They have to.
I would have thought they would have reached out to me.
Oh, sad bear. That makes me sad. I'll storm the castle tonight. Oh gosh, the sadness that's happening right now in the video.
Well, I mean, they could make it really about babies. So many of us are having babies.
That's so true. Oh, they should have a sweet like montage of all you with all of your little lovelies.
I mean, like, I think, yeah, there's me, Jenna, Lauren.
Well,
Bekah has
we
dogs.
still have a few weeks, so maybe they haven't reached out to you yet. We're gonna hold on.
Yeah,
hope.
that's probably what it is. Yeah, you're right, Jess. That's probably true.
They'll have you on Zoom, and then you'll have me dialed in the whole time, and you'll be like, "Turns out you were on my podcast recording the entire time."
Oh boy.
Well, Chris Harrison comes in at the end, and he says that the finals are going to be in Nashville. Jamie's screaming, and then he says, "As always, listen to your heart." They're screaming at him saying this. Everyone's super psyched, and there's just a lot of crying, and that's what it seems like is going to be the deal.
I'm looking forward to it.
I am too, even though I feel very like haphazard now because I really wanted another Ryan and Natasha performance. What I would love, since we are vibing on all of these performances now, is for everyone to come back as a couple and have to do a performance. Like, you know how in the American Idol finales, like everyone comes back and does like a little snippet.
They do a group performance. Yes.
Give us a group performance.
I like that.
Give us a what's that called when they have the line of people kicking? Give us a chorus line. Give us a chorus line of the first cast of.
Is there a song called Listen to Your Heart?
There's a few songs called Listen to Your Heart, but one of them, Listen
Well,
to
they
Your
should
Heart.
all be singing.
When
yeah.
he's calling for you. Listen to your heart.
I don't like that one. Well, I want them to sing another song, Listen to Your Heart, and have all of them join in.
An original tune.
Yeah. Well,
broads, we're angry, we're hot, but excited for next episode. Also started to notice that, like, I think more people are actually getting invested in this. I've noticed people are tagging us in more tea with Listen to Your Heart. So, hoping that the finale is actually one that we can all celebrate together and either be excited or very angry about who ends up winning. And I'm looking forward to it.
amen to that, sister.
Amen, amen. Well, make sure you tune in on Thursday if you...
Well, you won't want to miss it.
You're not going to want to miss it. I am.
I'm sure there will be some Reddit thread trashing us somewhere about something we said, but we had so much fun.
We had so much fun.
And we really cut loose, and it really felt like we were just doing a date night and just chatting it up, laughing it up, and recording all of it. So we really had a blast doing it.
And I want to preface this too. Before you listen to all of us like trashing each other, please like trust and believe we all adore each other. Like,
oh, we had such a blast.
No,
we were talking about how much fun we had after.
Oh yeah,
you know?
no, me
It's
too.
like,
What I'm saying is like
it's all
like,
good vibes.
I love my husband and like Bekah loves Gray, and I realized after we recorded it, I was like, oh, we go hard in the paint with each other. Like we trash talk each other, and that's our love language. Our love language is trash talking, and I feel loved when.
Did we really? Because I felt like I was like, oh, that was pretty tame with like the way we're interacting with each other. Did you listen back? I
listened to part of it, and we did go hard, but we also go harder, I think, in real life. And I think that is probably a good window into the fact that like we give each other a hard time. Like when Evan gives me a hard time and gives me shit, I am turned on. I love it. It makes me laugh. It's fun.
It's so fun.
It's the most fun.
Yeah. And what better way to do it than with another couple, and we just get all trash each other.
It's the best. It's the best.
Good times.
Good times. Well, broads, chat soon. And yeah.
Enjoy your Tuesday or Wednesday or whatever day you're listening to this.
All the days are blending
And broads,
together.
remember, listen to your heart.
Listen